If you've ever paid $5 in shipping for a $4 pack of blades, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. So yeah, that was me. I was that stupid. I wouldn't bring it up if I hadn't done it before. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm just saying. So, looks like we got to 100 subscribers, didn't we? That is something else. I'll tell you what. 4 months ago when I started this project, it would have been laughable to tell me that I would have had 100 subscribers. I would have thought you were insane. But here we are. So I don't know where we go from here, but I'm going to keep making videos and producing content the best I can. And we're going to keep having fun. So I want to take this moment to sincerely thank every viewer and every subscriber for making this possible. So we're going to keep plugging away, and we're going to keep making great videos with great shaving products. And hopefully I can bring more people into this hobby, because it really is a great one. I will say that. So with that in mind, I'm going to take a victory lap. And I'm going to do a shave with a shaving soap artisan that is the first American artisan I ever discovered 4 or 5 years ago in 2017 when I first started this hobby. It was the very first artisan I ever discovered, made in Alanson, Michigan, very coincidentally, just a few miles from where I grew up. It's Maria Arman's very own Through the Fire. And this one is Stingray. And this is a tallow-based soap. It is 5 ounces. Let's have a smell. Talk about the scent more in a minute, but this is, in a nutshell, this is a citrus heavy fougere. I don't know off the top of my head how much this costs. I will put it at the bottom of the screen for you. I don't know how much it costs because mine is actually quite old. I do know this is still being made, but mine is very old, and so there might have been price changes since then. So, but it's still got one heck of a robust scent strength, I'll tell you what. So that'll be the soap we're going to use. And since we're using a fougere scented soap, any excuse I have to use Brut, I'm going to do it. And this is another classic fougere type scent. This is an off-the-shelf aftershave, so you can find it at your local grocery store or your local drugstore. The razor is going to be the Rockwell 6S, and this has plate number 4 on it right now. We're going to keep using feather blades. Feather blades for the razor blade for today. And those look exactly like this in the pack. And last but not least, the brush is going to be this 24mm Cashmere from AP Shave Co. on a Maritime Brush Company handle. And this is Brendan's interpretation of Daytona Yellow. So those are going to be the tools we're going to use today. So let's get all this together and let's have a great shave today. Okay, as you can see, we have the brush and the shaving soap in the bottom of the Pereira Shavery Unbreakable shaving bowl. And we have the spray bottle. So I'm going to put 6 sprays in here, and then we're going to get the lather started. This is an example of a soap where the scent just explodes the moment you start lathering it. It is quite strongly scented. So looks like more water. 5 sprays. I'll work some of that up from the bottom of the bowl. Through the fire soaps tend to have a lot lot of structure. They're thick and creamy, and they really make a robust lather. It's actually quite shocking that I've looked all over YouTube, and I haven't seen very many people, if any, do shaves with this soap brand lately. So looks like they sort of got forgotten about in a lot of ways. I'm hoping they're coming back though. They did make a post on their Instagram saying, "Don't go away. We got big stuff coming up." So hopefully that's true. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? Okay, let's go do the shave. Okay, we got 2 days growth on the face today. Let's sniff on this Stingray for a second. Scent strength for this is a 3 out of 3. It just edges across the line to a 3 out of 3. So I would say this is robustly scented, high scent strength. So I'm going to wet the face really quickly, and then we're going to use some Phoenix Shaving Cube on the face. Phoenix Shaving Cube, where's it at? There we go. 2 days growth. I'm actually wearing this thing down fairly fast. I actually use this to wash my face every morning before I go to work. Okay. This cashmere knot is very soft, almost too soft. I actually tend to prefer knots that have that are just a little bit scritchier and have a little bit more backbone. This is good, but I got to be in the mood for it. Okay. Got the Rockwell 6S on plate number 4 with a fresh feather blade. Let's see how much trouble we can get into today. So the scent on this, let me break it down in terms of categorization. So when I smell this, I get these notes in this order. I get citrus notes, and then I get floral notes, and then I get woody notes in exactly that order. And the result is quite the crisp and citrus heavy fougere. It's definitely, you definitely get blasted with bergamot when you're smelling this. Now, fougere, like I've said before, has a lot of broad scents in there. But this one, it's really easy to pick out individual notes because I can get the bergamot, I can get the lavender and the geranium, the cedar and the oak. I can pick it all out. Now, sometimes some scents can pull that off. Some, it makes it kind of off-putting. Like for cologne-y scents, if you're trying to smell a cologne-y scent, it's supposed to really be the sum of all of its parts. And so when it starts breaking down, you can smell individual notes. In my opinion, that's usually a poor execution of a cologne type scent. But this one is really intended to smell like a summer walk in the woods. It's not at all earthy. I will say that. There's no earthiness to this at all. Every note is a clean one. Even the woody notes. Oh, what do we want to do? Let's do another pass. When I did the across the grain on my upper lip just a second ago, it left a lot of hair behind. So I probably should have went with the grain first. But oh well. But through the fire, definitely has kind of lost its steam recently, but I'm hoping to get that back. I'm not at all affiliated with them, but because it's local to me, or at least local to where I spent so many years of my life growing up. I was born and raised in northern Michigan. So I have a kind of sentimental investment in this. And recently, like in the last few years, a lot of their soaps have been classic car themed. Like this one is a Stingray Corvette. They got one that's Cuda, that is one of my personal favorites. That's a Plymouth Hemi Cuda logo, and that one has it's a woody blackberry kind of scent. They got one that's got a Shelby Cobra label. That one is YSL Loam, I'm pretty sure. But if you haven't discovered Through the Fire, you might consider picking one up, because their soaps are slick and easy to lather and fairly affordable. Like for 5 ounces, obviously I put the price at the beginning of the video at the bottom of the screen, but if I had to guess off the top of my head, I'd say they're either somewhere between 15 and 17. 16-ish, $16.95 if I had to peg it. For 5 ounces, that's not bad. Especially for the performance you get. Oh, there's a weeper. Of course there is. So one thing you can count on is frequent nicks and cuts in the Soap Thing project. So all right, let's have a rinse and see how I did. Residual slickness on this is pretty stellar. Okay, that's enough. Enough touch-ups. Okay. We're going to apply the alum block to the face, and we're going to come back for the aftershave and my final thoughts. Okay, Razor Rock alum block. Huh, there's a little bit of stinging over there. That usually doesn't happen. Might not be, this blade might not be the greatest fit for this razor for my particular shaving habits. There's a nick there, but no stinging. Sometimes that happens. I do know that this, I nicked off some acne, so I'm going to blame that on my face. I'm not going to blame that on form and technique this time. Down here is stinging a little bit, so I am going to blame that on poor shaving habits, because my neck, I really got to be careful down there. But overall, I'd say that was a good shave, close shave, my goodness, satisfying shave. Let's move on to the aftershave. All right. Time for the Kevin McAllister face smack. Ooh. Ooh, stinging. Never has so much pain felt so good. Whew. Brut is good stuff, I'm telling you. So, okay, my final thoughts on Through the Fire Stingray. My usual question for every soap, or at least most every soap, is if I exhausted it to an empty tub, is it good enough to be a repeat purchase? Would I buy it again? And I think you know the answer to that by now. I mean, when it comes to a shaving soap artisan that is so close to home and resonates so much with my childhood, at least insofar as I think it's like 20 miles away from my hometown where this is currently being made. So there's some bias there. I'm just going to come right out and say it. There's bias to this, but just objectively speaking, it's still good. It still performs very, very good. I'd say it's on the level of Sterling and Shannon soaps and things like that. So if you have no idea who they are, you might want to check them out, because it is not something to sleep on. So that is my personal opinion, my shameless opinion, and I am sticking to it. So I want to sincerely thank every viewer and every subscriber for joining me today and every video thus far. I want to thank everybody for watching, and this is Soap Thing telling you, shave like you mean it. I'll see you next time.